Hey guys, and welcome to episode number 35 of Give It the Beans. Now, as we've been doing the previous few weeks, not really been able to get many guests on simply because uh, anyone I want to get on is busy. Any current coaches that I want to get on and speak about things are busy seeing to their own clientele. They're busy making sure that they've got maybe some seminars coming up, or it's called Co-Fit. A couple of guys that want to come on, too busy preparing for that. So as it, for today, you'll just have to deal with my dulcet tones, and I hope that's okay. With putting these on YouTube, I can slowly see my hair is starting to deteriorate with all the barbers being closed. So if you're watching this on YouTube, I can only apologise, but you will maybe see more waves, potentially some curls. Yes, I had a little bit of an afro when I was younger. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, every time I'm at my mum's, which will be for a couple of months now, I always post a picture of me with a wee afro. So you might see that come back. You might see me shave my head, but I think that for the sake of my marriage to be, I'm not going to do that because I'm sure she'll want a divorce before you even got married. But yeah, I just want to come on today to speak about a few issues that had kind of cropped up throughout check-ins this past week, and just to discuss how to get around them. So I think number one, what's been pretty awesome for myself and for the two coaches, Clara and Ali, underneath the brand, is just to see so many clients stand by them in this time period is just so heartwarming. And if I'm honest, like it was today, this is Thursday, I put a message in the group chat. I could see my finger. If you're wondering what happened, just watch my prep vlog series, this off-season vlog series. So Thursday today, I put a message in the group chat and said that for everyone who is part of the group at the current moment, their price for online coaching will be held and will be honoured for the next 12 months. Because after this lockdown period, there'll be a price increase, but they will all stay on the same rate, whereas new clientele or returning clients will pay substantially more, just to make up for obviously loss of earnings, but also just because of how much value and content we have delivered over the course of the lockdown. And they all sort of messaged and as I'm typing this, like I'm quite an emotional person. Like if you know me, I wear my heart on my sleeve and I'll have a cry at anything. But as I was typing this, I just started welling up and getting a lump in my throat, specifically because I was just so grateful for all the clients that have stood by me, and to see that the direct debits for the start of the month were going in and the bank balance was okay and the bills that were coming out were fine. It just hits me right in the feels, man. And I can't help but get a little bit emotional. And I think that the community that we've got has been so strong at helping each other through this uncertain period. And I guess just understanding that we all have some similar issues. And those issues is what I want to talk about today. Because I've had the same chat with a lot of clients on the phone. And I think number one is this sense of feeling alone. That a lot of people will be either living with a flatmate that they maybe perhaps don't know that well, or will be living with a partner, but a lot of people are living on their own. And as we've said before, the gym was a sense of not only physical exercise and mental well-being, but a social interaction where they'd catch up with friends that had similar interests, like-minded individuals whose values were perhaps the same as theirs, to then go to having that knocked out the park, and they only can maybe perhaps train at home. One can easily feel a sense of loss and uncertainty with it all. And how do we deal with that as humans, or how have we dealt to deal with that as humans over the course of the sort of the weeks, the months, the years? Through food and alcohol, isn't it? Right? So you kind of think that you get this sense, or you have this massive sense of loss, and if you haven't got some systems in place, or you're not a logical person, it's so easy to overeat. And it's happened to a few clients, and when I get them on the phone, they always think they're in trouble, and they're always worried. Don't want to tell Big Bad Vaughn what happened, but they do. And when I come on the phone, they realise I'm just a normal human being, and I'm not scary, and I'm just willing to just chat stuff through. So we come on the phone, and within 10-15 minutes, they come on the phone going from feeling a bit lost to feeling certain about where we're going. And here's how I describe it, is that when you're on your own and you have this sense of loss, you naturally want to feel better, and perhaps through poor behaviours over the years, you've learnt to just go for food. And you see that snack drawer, that snack cupboard, and all of a sudden, like, your subconscious mind starts pushing you towards it, right? But then you've got this logical hat on, because for some of them, they're dieting. They've got a photo shoot soon, 2-3 weeks time, or they're doing a recomp, a dieting phase, because their body fat levels are too high. So the logical hat doesn't want to do it, right? But the subconscious mind does. Now, here's the two scenarios. You're on your own. So if you're on your own, you are in the sense of, right, your subconscious mind goes, right, nobody is going to watch me do this. I can get away with this. I'm good here. And you kind of switch all consciousness off, and you just smash the whole bag of crisps or chocolates or cookies or whatever it is. And then it's only once you've finished and you kind of come back into reality do you go, shit, what did I just do? And then there's a sense of guilt. And then there's the hours, oh my god, pulling the hair out, am I going to tell Vaughn? How am I going to tell Vaughn? Oh my god, I fucked the diet up. Oh my god, I ruined it. Oh my god, I'm fat. Right? That's scenario one. Scenario two is your partner's having something. Right? Your partner's went to the snack drawer. Your partner's maybe not into bodybuilding. They're maybe not into physique development, and they just eat how they want. And you kind of go, well, fuck that. I'm having some as well. And before you know it, you guys have finished the share bag of Doritos. You finish the cookies. You finish the ice cream, and you kind of go, shit. But at the time, it was okay because you're doing it together, right? It's why it's the same behaviour that people will loot because they're doing it together. This fear of not getting caught, and you could relate that very similar to this fear of we're kind of doing bad stuff, like quote unquote overeating bad, but we're doing it together, so it's all right. Now, both those scenarios ain't good if you're dieting, but here's how we get around them. Scenario number one: you have this sense of loss, you have this sense of feeling alone. Well, at that point, I asked every single one of the clients I went, at that point, did anything go through your mind about reaching out to someone? How many of them do you think said yeah? Zero. Absolute zero, right? They all at that point didn't want to speak to anyone. Right? So what I said was, well, in those moments, you kind of need to. So today, when they're away from that scenario, I said, you've got to reach out to people in the BW Physique community that have been through it, that can help you logically with their systems that they put in place of how they get out of that headspace in that environment, and give Clara her due. She's amazing at it, and we did a podcast on it. Please go listen to that. And then she's great. Any of the girls in the group, she's had problems with it before, and she openly admits it. But you know what? She is so supportive to anyone that messages her, whether they're clients or not. Of course, she goes above and beyond. She goes above and beyond for my clients, not even hers. So I'll send them to her, and she. She's brilliant at it. So please go listen to that podcast and follow Clara. Drop her a wee follow, message her, tell her you like the podcast. That would be fantastic. So in that scenario, as I was saying, reaching out to someone saying, hey, I'm having these cravings, and then having boom, right there, that support. Like, we've got that group chat with over 40 girls in it. And I say it, I understand at times that you might not want a guy's opinion. You might want a girl's opinion, and that's absolutely fine. And I say, so I'm here because I'm experienced. I've worked with a lot of people. I noticed trends and behaviours, and I found systems and ways that we could deal with it. But sometimes I'm sure you just need another girl's opinion. So in that moment, I say, reach out, get a support, because in that moment you just need someone to hold your hand and get you through there and talk you through it logically. And for us, there's always someone there, right? There's always someone there to chat and respond. before we can maybe perhaps get to the phone. When I say before I say it's me, Ali, or Clara. And of course, if there's any way we could help, we will. Ideally, you want the direct coach helping, but we all come together and lend a hand because we're all in it together, especially in this uncertain period. Scenario number 2, you got to have a word with your partner, right? And you got to ask them and say, right, listen, I would love for us not to have this food in the house, or because I can't control myself, or I would love for you to have it, but hide it and don't tell me what it is. That sounds really extreme and really bad, but I think that I said those 2 scenarios today, and I didn't like them. So I thought a little bit more, and I thought what we kind of need to do in this moment is we've got to set mini goals, right? If we set mini goals, it makes it more logical for us in our brain to not overeat. So we see our partner going for the snacks drawer or whatever, and we want to help. Sorry, we want to go for it as well. But if we have this goal that's 2, 3, 4 weeks away, and perhaps it's a body compositional goal, along with that, perhaps we're trying to pull off some body weight, so we've got like a target of how many pounds we want to pull off, that should be enough to stop you. Whereas right now, a lot of clients were dieting for a holiday that was 12, 16 weeks away, and we're counting down 10, 9, 8 weeks. And all of a sudden, now the holiday's cancelled. And I'm like, well, you still got to recomp because your body fat levels are still too high. But then in their eyes, they're kind of going, oh, well, there's not really any need for me to do this. And I go, well, there is, because if you want to continue to improve your physique, we need to pull body fat levels down, be more insulin sensitive, have a much better set point, and then push back up. So, but in their eyes, the holiday was the main motivation. So I'm going, right, we need a different goal here. We need to kind of strip it from this sort of 12, 16 week goal to let's work in 3 or 4 week blocks. Right, so that's what I said. I said, right, to one client, I said, right, let's get down from 58 to 56 kilos this month. The month of April, it's the 2nd. Can we do that? Fuck yeah, I'm up for that. Let's go for it. And of course, I gave them a little pep talk as I do in the voice notes and whatnot about training and how we have this opportunity to take one step ahead and be assertive at the front of the pack, shall we say, is what I put it to a lot of people. But I think that having that mini goal can really, really help. Not everyone is a robot. Not everybody loves bodybuilding like I do. Not everybody loves training like I do, right? And not everyone's got the same monotonous relationship with food I do, and I get that. But when it comes to avoiding overeating, I think the 10 to 12 days post-show for me, I'm kind of what you would call quote-unquote normal. And what I mean by that, well, my cravings will go through the roof. And it's not necessarily cravings, it's just hunger. So post-show, before the diet finished, I was sitting on about 3,000 calories, right? It's still a decent amount of food, and on a non-trained day it was 2.5. But after that weekend, post-diet, straight on a sort of set, you could call it macros with Cal, and he kind of told me to do my own thing, tell him what I was on, what it was roughly been, and then we adapt. But what I was finding was I will not overeat the foods that I usually eat. My oats and whey, my eggs and toast, my cereals, my Pop-Tarts and whatnot. I will not overeat those. But if there's anything in that 10 to 12 days post-diet in the house, like chocolate, it is fucking gone. It is gone. And it's the only time I will smash a whole bar of chocolate, like, without thought. And I guess you could say that's what makes me human, right? So, what do you think I didn't have in the house in that 10, 12 day period? Because it's now 13 days post-diet, and I feel good, I feel normal, my cravings are settled down, my hunger settled down, leptin balance seems to be restored. And by that I mean leptin is just this satiety signaling hormone that tells you, well, listen, we're actually full, and you don't need to eat more, and that's why people will tend to binge eat, because they're leptin resistant post-diet. Right, so you're absolutely right, I didn't have any chocolate in the house, because I just smash it. What did I have lots of though? Oats and whey, eggs, Pop-Tarts, cereals, breads, protein powders, because if I was going to choose to eat more because I was hungry, I was going to eat more of the same stuff, because you have 120 grams of oats and whey and some frozen fruit. The last thing you want to do is go smash that again. Whereas you could smash that, and then there's a Galaxy, share bar, you're going to fucking smash that as well. So you could see that the lesser of two evils, just making sure that although my food was going up, or I was perhaps kind of having a bit more than what we had said, well, it was up to me really, I was having a bit more than what I thought I needed to be at. It was all through sort of wholesome, healthy, nutritious foods, or foods that I usually eat. So it's why body composition stayed in such a decent place. And about 1 week on from the diet phase, we were 8 kilos up, or 15 pounds up, you could say. And then that held. And it held till, this is Thursday, it held till about yesterday, where I checked in and called it, right, food's got to go up. Because ideally, we do want a little bit more weight going on this period. It's got to the point where now, carbs are up at 725, proteins up at 300, fats are 100. So, you're looking at over 5,000 calories on that day. And then with non-training days being 600 gram of carb, the only difference. So it just goes to show you that if you don't eat like a total fanny post-show or post-diet, if it's been extreme, then you can get your food can get up to a very reasonable place. And right now I'm on a lot of food and I feel good. I don't feel like body compositions went southward at all. And of course I've added a little bit of body fat, but I've added a little bit of tissue as well. I've got a lot fuller. Lower back pumps are crazy. But to know more, make sure you watch my prep vlog series. But the main point of that was, or that wee story, was to tell you that if you cannot control yourself around a certain food, if there's a trigger food that you just think, nah, if that's there, I'm eating that one, and I'm eating the whole bag, or I'm eating the whole tub of ice cream, you have to stop buying it. Get it out of the house. Why are you buying it in the first place, right? Okay, I understand that your partner might still eat that. Well, rather than buy, Ben and Jerry's, can you buy Halo Top, right? Rather than buy the Share Bar Galaxy Caramel, can you get them to buy little bars, or buy singular bars and have them in their own little stash somewhere, or switch to 90% dark chocolate? Meet in the middle somewhere, right? Because if you're in a couple, if you're in a marriage or whatnot, it's all about compromise, right? It's not about just you do this, you do that. I've got a gammy finger that I need to keep straight because I was bloody caught a barbell underneath my knuckle. About took the whole knuckle off, took the skin off anyway. So I can't do the dishes. So what does Rona do? She's been doing the dishes all week. Hats off to her. Class. So appreciative. So I just make sure that I make her tea the other day. I was a bit of Casanova. I bought her an Easter egg. Pretty proud of myself because that was chocolate. And I thought, right, I'm going to buy that. I'm going to give her it. And I'm not going to eat any. Not that I could anyway, because she smashed it within 5 minutes of me handing it to her. Hats off to her. But that for me was like a signifying moment. Like, my cravings are good. My relationship with food's good. And it's really weird for me, because those of you that don't know me, that follow the podcast, that follow me on Instagram, you'll know that when it comes to dieting, I'm so robotic. I disconnect my relationship with food so much. I don't enjoy it. It has its purpose. It's a nuisance to eat. It's time consuming. It gets in the way. It's just thoughtless. I don't crave. I don't get hungry. I didn't get hungry once on prep. In fact, that's a lie. I did. And the only time I got hungry was after the first show. After we had carved up, and then when we started to pull back down and get flat again. But I think the problem with that was it coincided with being the most stressful week of my life ever, with Rona being away, with this whole lockdown happening, with the uncertainty of shows not being cancelled and whatnot, is I think why I was kind of just stressed. I wasn't really hungry as such. Moving on to talk about, again, issues that are current. Gym equipment. Now, one thing that's been really, really sad to see is how much just like some companies are absolutely just trying to rip people off and try to skin people of their money, because it's supply and demand. I get it, it's business. They're probably thinking, well, after this, there's going to be a massive crash and no one's going to want to buy gym equipment. And those that do, will get it cheap from someone that just wants to get rid of it because they bought it all on a limb. As me, right? Bought £1,700 worth of equipment. It's in the shed right now as a backup in case this restrictions get tighter and I'm not able to train where I'm training right now. But hey, at least I've got it, and it's actually stirred a thought for me to. Although I was going to get a lockup in about 5 years' time, you're probably looking at me getting a lockup within the next year. A place where I can just train. I have the key. I pay rent to it myself. Potentially, hopefully with Ali as well. If he doesn't fuck off to Glasgow soon. But that's what I'm thinking. But I think when it comes to gym equipment itself, it's funny how much I have a lot of clients say I can't get anything. I don't have enough money. I can't afford that. To then another week passes, and honestly, everyone that said that messaged me, "Hey Vaughn, I've ordered this. Can you send me a program?" And it was just funny because the week before that, it was no, I can't afford that. Whereas now I think they saw the value. They had to have a time period where their workout, quote unquote, in their eyes was shit and not up to par, to then see value in buying it. Because when the whole uncertainty was going on about, oh, we're going to lock down, we're going to not get locked down, I ordered. There was no hesitation in my mind to order that much kit. And I didn't look at the price. I was tallying up what I thought I needed. I thought, right, I'm going to need a set of 50s for shoulder pressing, for chest pressing. Right, I'm going to need some 36s, maybe for doing some sort of unilateral leg work. I've got the 50s there as well. And I can make 70s with the 50s, putting bands and 10s around them. And then so I get paid at 18s, for arm work and for lateral raises. Cool, that's perfect. I went, right, I've got bands, but, I'm going to need like a bench. I need something to press from. I need something to squat with as well, because if I can't get to a gym, I can't use a Smith machine, I'm going to have to barbell squat. But then again, I'm going to need to RDL, and I want to be able to hip thrust. So I went, right, I can hip thrust off the bench, I can RDL using the squat stands that I'll buy. So I put this all in, and it was only after I put it all in, I looked at the price and just went, okay. And it wasn't even a thought in my mind, because again, stuff in this world is only expensive if you see no value in it. And I've said to every client, you need to be willing to drop like £250 to £500 to get some decent enough equipment. Then that could be bands, barbells, maybe some weight plates, some dumbbells. And if you have a combination of them, or kettlebells, you have a combination of them, it is so easy to come up with a program that can absolutely fuck you up. And if you're unsure of how to program around this time period, go listen to episode 34. I speak about it in there quite a lot, of how you can manipulate, exercises with tempo, with isometric contractions, combining them together. A lot of my clients, we don't do supersets or triceps or giant sets. We're doing them now, and we're doing our main focus is doing a lot slower tempos, our isometric holds, and they're all dying. 1 week into doing the home programming, and they're all like, oh my god, I'm so much sorer than I was doing gym workouts. And that's because it's a novel stimuli. It's something that the body's never done before, so that the body's only way it deems fit to adapt to that stimulus is to grow. It's as simple as that, right? Now, this could go on for 8 to 10 weeks, and they continue to apply themselves in the manner in which they do in the gym. By that, we mean give it the fucking beans. Then, of course, they're going to continue to adapt and grow. And as the weeks go on, you'll find that they will pick up more equipment. They will get heavier dumbbells. They will get heavier plates, right? We will have access to more stuff. Like, with a lot of clients that don't have squat stands, I'm like, have you got Kimsel bins? They're like, yeah. I'm like, that's our squat stands now. Or whatever it is to try and get the bar on their back. Some clients, they have backpacks. I'm like, can you put your dumbbells or your weight plates in a strong, solid backpack and hold dumbbells? Then we have some load. And I know that sounds silly, but we work with what we've got. I've got some clients that are self-isolating, some clients that cannot leave the house because they have symptoms. To get their step count, what are they doing? Marching on the spot. But the thing is, so many people are feeling sorry for themselves because, I don't have a hack squat, I don't have a Smith machine, blah, blah. Whereas what I say is, you have a window of opportunity now, especially if you're a competitor. You have such a huge window of opportunity here that there will be so many out there that are backing off the gas, that are not training, that are not training as frequently, that are taking time away from training, that are binge eating, that are not training that hard. In doing so, their physique is going to it's going to respond in that manner. They're not going to change. However, what if in this small time period that you have, and by that I mean in like large scale time periods, so within a 2-year window, this is very small, isn't it? That what if you had the opportunity to not only catch up on competitors or athletes that have a bit more muscle mass than you, but to take a step ahead of them and to be ahead of the pack out of this lockdown. And when it comes to going back to the gym, you're one step ahead. You go back to your heavy mechanical loading, you're still giving it the beans, you still continue to grow. They only just start to grow again. So you can see how you're ahead and you stay ahead. So when the time comes to shine, the hard work that you do now will ultimately prevail and it will show on stage. 100% without a shadow of a doubt. Now, you don't necessarily need to, I wasn't meaning that necessarily to solely only competitors, because there'll be a lot of people listening that say, Vaughn, I got no aspirations to compete. Shut the fuck up. Well, what about if you just saw this as a window of opportunity to improve your own physique and to kind of show your own self that you do like training or love training, that it's not just about Instagram and likes for you, that it's about like it's about how much you enjoy it in here and what it does for your mind. See it as a challenge, don't see it as a setback. In the midst of adversity, champions will always find a way. My father brought me up on one saying alone. I shared it to my Instagram today. And he says, there's always a way, son. You just have to find it. And that's something he said to me from a little boy. And I guess I never really understood it until now. Or I understood it, but I never gave it much context and much thought. And the only time I do tend to give it much context and what much thought is when I really need it. And it's came to me over the years a few times when I've not been in trouble, but when I've been in times of uncertainty, times where I've not really known what's happening. And it's always given me a sense of calm. Because I say it, and the next thing you know, I take the action that's needed to find a way around the problem. Because I don't see this lockdown as a problem. I see it as a challenge, a roadblock. Now, when there's a roadblock, what happens? We get diverted away from the path, but it always leads straight back to the path. And that's all we've done. Right? We're just taking if this is the road, we've just veered off. We're taking a little bit of a longer route, and we're coming in right back on the road. That's how I'm looking at it and approaching it. Especially with the clients that have stuck by me, that are still on plan, that are still smashing their workouts. But what we thought we'd do as a team is we thought we would give back to the people right now who they want to invest in coaching, but financially they maybe lost their job. They may be struggling, they may be not sure about what's happening with the company. They're self-employed like us. So what we've done is we've created an entirely home-based workout program called 6-Week Lockdown Physique. And for anyone watching on the YouTube channel, I'll post the link to that in the bottom. And what we've done is given you a very financially feasible program that you can ensure that your physique progresses forward in the manner in which you want it to. We've came up with systems, programs that you will get leaner, mobilize body fat, add tissue, or if your goal is to maintain, you will certainly be able to do that with our accountability. It's a program in which you will work directly with a coach. You will check in once a week. So it's very much similar to full online coaching, but with a little bit of a difference. You will be in a community where you can communicate with other members of 6-Week Lockdown Physique, but also you will have your own coach for that 6-week period. Now, why are we only doing it for 6 weeks? We don't know how long this is going to go on for, right? Could be 6 weeks before they say, right, cool, gyms are back open. So you could start immediately. There's no start and end date. It is simply come on board. We can get you set up within a 3-day period, after which you'll have your program, your meal plan, check-in sheet, starter pack, access to the community, and everything, all the tools that you need in your toolbox to develop your physique in the way that you want. All we ask is that you have some equipment available to you, that you have some dumbbells, kettlebells, or some bands. Combination then would be great. Or you have a barbell, small bar, and some weight plates. If you have all that, you have some of that, we want to hear from you, we want to work with you, and we want to help you get through this time period. With the community that we've built, you will never, ever feel alone, and you will always have someone there to support your goals and support your needs. That's it for me today, guys. Whatever you are, whatever you're doing, make sure you give it the beans.